Thank you for watching this YouTube video today. Today we are going to be going over Freezing Pulse and what you can do to make it more effective. Just so you can maybe see the skill, see what it does. Freezing Pulse is a skill that basically, once you cast it, just looks like this. You get it really low level. It's kind of an effective skill. It scales off of cat speed, ice damage. It also scales off of elemental damage. There's quite a few spell gems that increases its effectiveness by a lot. One thing that you could use with it is the nice thing about Freezing Pulse is if you go up to a monster, you can see that the Freezing Pulse doesn't stop at the monster. It goes past the monster. So its area effect is basically anything in a line from behind it to in front of it, and it goes pretty far. You can increase its damage to stuff in front of you by a lot if you use like greater multiple projectile or lesser multiple projectile, and then all you have to do is be at, like right up in front of it, and then when you use it, it casts. If you use lesser, it casts 3 freezing pulses. If you use greater, it's going to cast 1. Right? So it ends up doing more damage. The other thing you could do with it too is you can do faster projectiles. Faster projectiles is really good with it too, because it makes it travel a lot further. So it extends a lot further. It also increases the damage of the ability quite a bit too. So faster projectile is also a good idea. And as this levels, it'll give it more faster projectile. The gem itself actually has more projectile speed as well if you get a quality version, which is nice. The other gem that's very effective with it is faster casting. Faster casting is really good too, because you're going to, more cast equals more damage, right? So you can scale your damage really high if you get faster casting involved with all this stuff too. And just to give you an idea though, you're going to want to get like really close to most things. And then you always want to point it behind the monster, because you're trying to shotgun the monster. And if you point it right under your feet, see how it doesn't really shotgun anymore? It just becomes a huge cone. But if you aim it more in the back, it's going to decrease the cone, making the freeze pulses overlap more, and that's how you shotgun a monster with Freezing Pulse. The other thing a lot of people use with Freezing Pulse is added lightning damage. The reason why added lightning damage is really nice with it is because it shock stacks a lot easier, and you can get those shock stacks super fast. Especially since you're hitting a monster with 5 freezing pulses. That means just how Freezing Pulse works, you get a lot of extra damage from those shock stacks. So it gives you an idea of how much damage you're going to end up doing with this in the end. As far as skills go, as far as passives go, yeah, elemental damage is really good. Amplify and area effect doesn't do anything to it, because it does on the tags of the gem itself. The gem's tags is cold, projectile, and spell. So that means anything with elemental damage would affect it, anything with cold damage would affect it, anything that does projectile damage would affect it. Otherwise, the other thing that really increases its effectiveness is cast speed. Cast speed would affect it quite a bit too, getting a bunch of cast speed. Another thing that increases its effectiveness by a lot is just having a decent amount of crit chance. The more crit chance you have, the more odds of those just hurting a lot. Because the nice thing is when you crit, all of your projectiles crit. So your crits are going to be huge with this spell. The other thing too is static blows is really good, because a lot of times you end up using added lightning, Static blows gives you a 20% chance to shock. The added lightning will give you another 10% chance to shock, giving you a 30% chance to shock without critting. And then once you have crit and you stack up that crit fairly high, you're gonna do absurd damage. But you have to get there first. Otherwise, as far as this spell goes, I think that's really all there has to be said about Freezing Pulse. If you like this video and you want more videos like it, they're going to be coming out every week. This week is Freezing Pulse. Next week I will be going over Ice Spear. And thank you for watching this YouTube video.